About to go live. Test this thing. Make sure it works. Make sure my audio is good. Oh my God, is it working?
Hooray.
Check on YouTube. Check on Twitch. We're back. We're back. We're back. Back. We're always back, and we're back. Okay, that seems to be doing what's supposed to be doing, so I don't care. Is this one doing what it's supposed to be doing? Just making sure. I also want to make sure my audio isn't bad.
Are we live?
Hold on. Stop it! Stop it now! We're back. We're back. We're always back, and we're back. Okay, thank God. Okay, holy bejeebies. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Is it just making sure?
Right, yeah. New abstract album.
Yeah,
it's
whatever,
very abstract.
Dude, you want me to put new Kevin album?
Do we have the ticker? Running?
Yes, ticker's running. Everything is...
Phil's player of the day. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like yeah. Thank God. Holy
now, guys,
crap.
Everybody in attendance.
All right, first off, technical difficulties have been fixed. Thank God. Thank God for fixing technical difficulties, because somebody has the oldest headset in the history of headsets that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Holy crap. All right. But we're back after about 20 minutes.
My headphones died, and my PC doesn't have Bluetooth. So now I'm using Bluetooth headset on my laptop that I use for school.
Yeah. Can't believe this. Unbelievable.
How do I sound?
How do I
sound? Do I sound like Booty Cheek?
You just sound like you're on like a Zoom call. It sounds about right.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
Well, while we were fixing these technical difficulties, I was showing Philip White my new Tinder account, and
don't
I just figured you all would want to see it.
Nobody, no, absolutely.
And so here we go. Mm-hmm. You know, in case you were wondering what it's like to find me on a dating app, you're in luck.
Here, hold on. Let me make sure I'm streaming OBS so you could at least. So you can see what you're...
Yeah, so I can make
so
sure I get it in the frame.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Okay, yeah. So, my go-to karaoke song. Oh, man, I'm frozen.
Oh, here we go. I just turned it
here we go. Better. My go-to karaoke song. Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick, the greatest to ever do it, Lamar. It's a picture of me at the Eagles game. You see? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's a picture of me that Philip White says makes me look like a douchebag, but I believe I look very handsome. And my bio is let's loudly quote Anchorman at each other until the sexual tension becomes unbearable. I'm pretty proud of that one. And then we have a picture of me with my grandmother. And my interests are karaoke, cooking, snowboarding, sports, festivals, and art. And then here's a picture of me with a bunch of chips. From the chip tier list.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then here's a picture of me interviewing somebody at the Eagles game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there we go.
Very nice.
And then here's a picture of me having fun with my friends. My anthem is "Did I Love You" by Flip Turn. Very good song. And then here's a picture of me blindfold taste testing Skittles.
Wow.
And then here's a picture of me at Bonnaroo.
Wow.
And yeah.
Nah.
So what do you think?
What do you think? That's nah. I don't even just get that. You know what? I rate that lower than I rate the new abstract album.
Well, I mean, it would be pretty hard to have it be better than the new Kevin abstract.
Yeah, but I have the abstract album like a 7 at best. So like you're looking like a 4, buddy. A 4.
A 4? A 4? No.
Yeah.
No, that is heat.
4.
Oh, Cam Thomas.
4.
Cam Thomas says, "Bro, looking for a wife, not thoughts with the picture of Granny." Indeed, literally, I've had
crazy.
enough.
But that's
hookups.
like dude, and then the
hookups
rest
in my life.
the picture of you just look like a douche, just like.
I'm a happy guy.
Dude, it looks like the phoniest, like you know how like you have the heads of like ESPN talk show hosts all together and they're all fake smiling. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like.
That's my LinkedIn profile picture. Yeah.
Dog. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's a wild one, man. I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say after that one. I don't know what to tell you.
Man, I think it's a heater, but I don't know. We can let chat decide, and maybe let the masses on Instagram.
We can let
decide
Cam Thomas, star of the Brooklyn Nets, decide. I'm sure.
I bet Cam Thomas. I bet Cam Thomas's wife. I bet he's hoping his wife doesn't have Tinder right now. Because.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll have to ask Cam what he thinks. We'll have to see if Cam's wife has any friends. You know, some good looking women for you. You know, we'll get them out.
Yeah,
there.
that's true. I'm back on the market.
Sure.
I wasn't off the market for very long.
Yeah.
But I'm back on the market.
I wasn't off the market for like very long, but like you know. Oh my god.
Okay,
anyway,
yeah, so let's pick up where we left off.
We were talking about the Kevin Abstract album last time we were here, and I have to tell you, there's a reason why I have this thing at a 7 out of 10. And you already probably know the reason. So the last time we talked about an album, I want to say it was... Oh, who was it? Who was it that came out? It was like last November, like roughly in the fall. The color of the album was green. I remember it was green. I want to say it was Tyler. Tyler's the Creator's album they dropped.
Oh yeah, Chromacopia.
Yeah, Chromacopia came out. And when I told you I listened to it, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really listen to it in order. You were appalled that I did not listen to the album in order. So it's like, but like, I don't know. Yeah. I like things on shuffle. It's how I grade music if I could play it at any moment. So I went back and I listened to this full album in order. I had to stop twice. I had to stop 2 separate times watching this album. Listening to this album. First at NOLA, because I hated it. I hated it within 30 seconds. And then I had to stop. After another minute of listening to NOLA, I had to stop again and say, why am I still listening to this song? It's I don't know if you know this tradition. I know some people have this tradition. The tradition at my house, when I was little, was we would take all the pots and pans during New Year's, like 15 minutes before New Year's, and just start making random noises, like, oh my gosh, it's almost the New Year, it's crazy! That's what this was. This was...
Well, NOLA is definitely a little hectic. I don't love it.
I don't love NOLA. It doesn't fit the tone at all. But you want me to grade this thing as an album, if I'm listening to this thing front to back, NOLA completely... Like, it would be like... Let me put it this way. You know when... when Goldilocks goes in and tries the bear's porridge and tries their beds and all those things?
Yeah.
When Goldilocks gets to the first porridge and it's too hot, not only is it too hot, she got food poisoning. That's the equivalent of me find out NOLA and I'm like, oh man, I'm sick. I can't eat any more porridge right now. So I had to sit and wait for like another 7 hours before I could sit down and listen to the rest of the album. And it was fine.
Well, it was okay. I mean, outside of NOLA, because honestly, like, I'm not gonna be listening to NOLA a ton in the car, but, actually, yeah, on the way to work, I might listen to NOLA a ton. But that's a song where, like, you know, I don't think it's in my, like, top 3 or maybe even top 5 on the album, but when I'm at the Kevin Abstract concert and that song comes on,
at the Kevin Abstract concert. That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to no Kevin Abstract concert to just listen to a song that I already think is booty hole. Like, I just don't. I don't have that concern. Like, honestly, I just don't.
It's not that
It
bad.
doesn't-
It's just like chaotic and ravey.
But it's not even like a good chaotic and ravey song. It's so chaotic and so ravey that it doesn't even fit traditional chaotic and ravey precipices. I just don't.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think it does. I think it is.
Dude, that song is sexy. It's chaotic.
Oh, dude,
like,
what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
To call that.
yeah,
No.
like the intro.
I listened to
the
it.
intro of that song is sexy.
The first 15 seconds.
I can make you jealous, or I can make it worse. So rub it in your face. Like nah.
Now you just you try to
That's
make
erotic.
it better, and you made it worse. You just made it worse. That's terrible. That's so bad. Well, I gotta get to Cam. Hold on, wait. Did Cam say something about prenuptial? Cam Thomas in the chat. Prenuptial signed if she does. I'll shoot my shot with some actress sitting courtside, not wanting to be at the game, but was dragged out by co-stars. And then it was Pelicans of the same reaction as Zion still being in NOLA. Dude, honestly, I don't know what's worse. The song NOLA or Zion still being there?
Is Zion still under contract in New Orleans?
Of course he is. He's the #1 overall pick. And he was,
Like, obviously. Like, I feel like he hasn't been a free agent ever.
well, not a lot. Not every. Some players aren't. Maybe he'll never be a free agent.
Well, he should be. You got to get out of there for
Get out.
his sake and the Pelicans' sake.
All the crab cakes, maybe? You think that's what it is? Too many crab cakes?
Yeah, there's too much good food in New Orleans, man.
It's too much. It's too much.
Them big old Zions in New Orleans.
But, dude, back to this album. Nothing about it, to me, is like, it's that good. Like, nothing, like, I wouldn't, I think the only song I could see myself maybe playing, like, because I want to listen to it is, like, 97 Jag. And that's it.
97 Jag is not up there for me. For me,
97 Jag, and like maybe just because it's like popular, like I kind of can see Geezer and Maroon, but like, I just think it's so like I think Love Spells does a very good job, but I don't rock with it. It's just like a 6 or 7.
It's a 7. All right, so because like yeah, I guess calling the album a 10 would make it a perfect album, and it's not perfect. So I'll give it like a 9.3 because like my least favorite song on the album is probably Text Me, but man, my favorites, like, dude, the second half of Copy, Drive in the Sunset with the windows down with that playing, oh my god, it's a vibe. And NOLA goes hard, honestly. I enjoy NOLA a good bit. It's imperfect, but you know. Abandon Me is a banger. Oh, Girlfriend? Dude, Girlfriend is a banger. Maroon to my
thank goodness. Thank goodness you peeked the mic.
You make me.
Oh my god, I hated that. That was stupid. I audibly said this is stupid when that was said. I was like, what? Why?
I enjoy that a lot. It's just fun, you know.
You make me make noises that like a baby sounds. You make me.
No, that's goo goo gaga.
Basically the same thing. Basically no difference.
You make me gaga. I would think it's stupid.
I still got the same. I got the same energy from it. I just don't know what to tell you.
That makes me think the person writing those lyrics looks at their girlfriend like a beautiful constellation, rather than I am a baby.
I don't know, man. That just nah. I'd never be saying like ooh or ah even at a constellation. I'd be like, that's pretty neat. That's what he should have said. You want to relate to me? I say like, that's pretty neat.
But like that just wouldn't make sense in a hook. Like You make me say that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Like, no, it wouldn't have the same vibe to it.
Yeah, but I don't say.
Like,
no
you make
one
me
says
ooh, you make
or
me It's way. It's also
Let me tell you this right now. Let me tell you this.
It's a more positive light than that's pretty neat. You know, that's pretty neat is kind of like, oh wow, that's cool. Like you're almost a little indifferent to it.
So really, you think it's better? Like, let's say like you're going out like shopping, and she comes out in this amazing dress, and you just go, ooh, ah. You really gonna do that?
Not literally. Not literally.
Because I hear it.
Vibe.
That's not a vibe. That's never a vibe.
Literally.
That's not a vibe. There's no way you can say ooh or ah in any context where I think it's a vibe.
Those drums? Well, no, not in the conversation, but like it's about the vibe of the song. Like that's what's going on inside my brain. Like
I did not like it. I don't tell you. I'm not oohing or ahhing. I'd be going no and boo. That's what I'd be going.
Also, how about Post Breakup Beauty?
No, that one I thought was.
I wanna feel like no one can touch us.
I don't know, man. It felt
like we did in the summer.
Nah, I can't.
Yeah, it's a banger.
It wasn't. It was not, but that's okay. That's okay. Not everything's a banger. That happens, you know?
Well, yeah, agree to disagree. Everybody in the chat, go check this out. Wait, what's Cam Thomas saying?
Cam Thomas, well, he was talking about, Cam Thomas said, too much beignets, he eating rumors out, the league is his blood type is powdered sugar. That's I don't even, Zion's the guy who, like, shows up to donate blood, and they're like, no, thank you, hard pass. Too much sugar in there, big guy. And then he also said, the way you're describing this is making it sound like sound like something a guy would cry to after getting a Snapchat of his girl going down on another dude at a party. Honestly, not too far off. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it with a few of the songs. Not the whole album, but I can see that same energy being into some of these songs. Because you know there are dudes that would do that.
Do what?
They would
cry.
No, they would have this happen, and then they would play Kevin Abstract immediately after, like, oh, dude, my girlfriend got eaten out by some other guy. Oh. And then this would be their hairstyle for like 3 weeks. This right here.
Yeah. But like somehow they're also like they have like no personality, but they're also like pulling everybody. They're kind of like a skater guy.
Oh man, no! I was a skater boy. I said, "See you later, boy."
She said, "See you later, boy."
Oh,
but no, it's just the vibe. I love listening to this album. Great, Cam Thomas. I would love to get your official opinion on it after listening.
I don't get that vibe, man. I just can't.
Maybe we can talk more about Blush on the next episode of the podcast.
I am not. No,
you think about this, Minkah.
We are not talking. No, this is Blush got its one episode. It was this one. It was the one where there were a lot of technical difficulties.
Knocking on my door. Sorry, I'm in the middle. I'm doing the podcast in my right now. I'm always doing it in my house, technically. Yo, how you doing? Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.
There's no way, dude.
Yo, your DoorDash right here.
Oh, okay, I thought it was his.
Yes, sir. I didn't order more. Yeah, of course, man.
No,
I didn't order more DoorDash. All right.
I was gonna say you ordered. If they did,
I was still so hungry.
I'm gonna cut that up and pretend. I'm gonna like edit that in post, and I'm gonna pretend that it was your DoorDash. I'll be like, "There's no way this guy ordered DoorDash in the middle of trying to fix his audio issues."
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk more about Blush on next week's episode. I want to hear about Minkah Fitzpatrick. What you think about that?
You want to hear my thoughts? So, I feel like this is, in my opinion, a very just... It's a lateral move, but it's lateral in, like, a weird, like, I took, like, the smallest ever leap into potentially a better direction. That's my take on this. Because I don't like that we traded Minkah. I don't. Anytime I have a jersey of a player and we trade them, I usually get really, really upset. And this is one of those cases.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So with Minkah, here's the thing. The reality is with Minkah is that his production is down in the last 2 years. He's got last 30 games, I think he's recorded 1 interception. He's just been down in production for being what he's supposed to be, which is a ball-hawking safety. Do I think he has more upside than a player like Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith? Absolutely. But at the same time, there is an acknowledgement to be made that you're paying a lot for a safety, which is not really in a position generally you should be paying a whole lot anyway, even the great ones, because they're just not as essential as things like pass rushers, quarterback, offensive line, defensive line, whatever. And at that point, sending Minkah away, I can kind of see. And the reason why you had Jalen Ramsey is because if you looked at the cornerback room, you would see this is kind of a weak cornerback room without Jalen Ramsey. It would be an aging Darius Slay. It would be... I mean, if I think Ahmad Gardner's a holding merchant, Joey Porter Jr. is the king of being a holding merchant. And then Beanie Bishop Jr., who's a nice slot corner, but not incredible. So adding Jalen Ramsey to that cornerback room makes you feel a lot better, and I think having a good corner in these days in the NFL and a good corner who can lock guys down on occasion is better than having a good safety, especially one that hasn't produced at the level that he needed to. And I think even that trade on the surface, even now I still don't like the trade as much because it just feels very lateral. But I like that we get Jalen Ramsey, who's probably one of the best corners we've had in over a decade, well over a decade. And then Jonnu Smith is...
How old is Jalen Ramsey now?
I think he's 30. He's 30 years old. But I've seen corners play well at 30, at 31, at 32. So, and this was Minkah's last year of his contract. I don't think we were going to give him an extension based on the production he was having. So it makes sense to move him now for a player that I think that could be useful to us. And this is a move that is kind of weird because it feels like Pittsburgh's going all in on a season where I think they have a very clear ceiling. Like they're not shooting for the Super Bowl right now, and even I can see that. They're more of like, at best, can maybe, if they get some incredible luck, could win a playoff game. That I think is their ceiling. But it's not like they're going to go any worse than I think 500, 9-8. That's like their range. Their range is, it's so hard for this team to have a losing season.
I think the biggest question mark with that trade is, where does Jonnu Smith fit in the Steelers' tight end room? Because you already have Freiermuth, you already have Darnell Washington, who is more of a blocker anyway.
I think it's an easy fit, to be honest. I think it's probably the easiest fit, because Jonnu doesn't necessarily have to play tight end. He can play slot receiver. Like, he can play out of the slot if you're going to pick any tight end that you want.
That's a big slot receiver. I guess that would be interesting.
He's more of a slot receiver than I would say any of the other tight ends are. I mean, the only other guy we'd throw into the slot would be like Calvin Austin, but the receiver room is weak enough to where you could reasonably run 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and a running back. Like, I could see it. I could see running both Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith, and I think it would make sense. I think it'd be weird, and it's something that Arthur Smith did a lot in Atlanta, so that's why I was like, I had that meme come out where it was like Shrek and LeBron looking at each other like, hey, yo, it's time to run these 2 tight end sets and get Jonnu Smith an unnecessary amount of yards. But I think it's going to be...
Shrek and LeBron looking at each other?
Yeah, dude, that's what I put up on the page today. It was that to Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Chain, and they're just looking at each other like... Hey,
why Shrek and LeBron with the 2 tight end set?
Because it's not the 2 tight ends. It's Arthur Smith, and because Arthur Smith in Atlanta, when he was trying to get Kyle Pitts worked in, until we kind of realized maybe Kyle Pitts is just bad, that he was having like Jonnu Smith run a lot of plays. So like he used Jonnu Smith absurdly a lot, especially considering that Kyle Pitts everyone assumed was the better tight end. So it was more of like Arthur Smith's looking at Jonnu Smith like, hey, let's do this. And then Jonnu's looking at Arthur like, yeah, I'm about to get 100 targets. You know, I'm going to be hype. But that's my that'd be my case for it. I think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be anything outside of that. I think it's going to basically still be 9-8, anywhere between 9-8 and 10-7. That's where it's going to be. I don't think it changes that much. I think we're still 500.
I really hope that Aaron Rodgers is awful.
Of
in
course
Pittsburgh.
you do. But he'll be fine. I'd argue he
If
could
he-
see production and win games.
If he does well, like it would be so Aaron Rodgers for him to look like a totally different guy after leaving the Jets. It would be so Jets for that to happen.
Well, yeah, because that's the Jets.
Oh my gosh.
But the Jets are a bad
Yeah,
franchise.
and it's Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is a freaking jerk. Cam Thomas says, "I'll tell you what, when Rodgers was hurt his first..."
Oh. Hi. Did his computer die? If his computer died, I'm closing the lobby. Yes, I can hear you now. Jesus. Yes, I can hear you.
What happened?
I don't know. You lagged out, man. I don't know what to tell you. You kind of lagged out.
Oh
there,
my
buddy.
god, my technology is killing me. But did you see what Cam Thomas said in the chat? It was great.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll tell you what. When Aaron Rodgers was hurt his first year with the Jets, he got the Nets and ayahuasca, and I think he's going out with a Super Bowl. Look, man.
Oh my god.
Let me say this, okay? The reality is, and I hate to be that guy, but I love being that guy. The Jets' offensive line last year was awful. It was terrible. It was a mess. Steelers' offensive line is a little better, and it's a more stable organization, and they're gonna win games. They always do somehow. They always find a way to be 9-8, 10-7, take a playoff spot they don't deserve, and then lose. But if Aaron Rodgers is able to win a playoff game, then whoa, that'd be kind of crazy. It'd be kind of crazy, It'd be kind of nuts.
And, yeah, like with what Cam Thomas was saying, theoretically, let's say Aaron Rodgers makes it to the Super Bowl with this Steelers team. I would be so conflicted because me. I basically I have my teams, but outside of that, I'm just rooting for the great stories.
That's a great
I don't
story.
think there's any way that is a great story. And it would be so hard for me to bring myself to root for freaking Aaron Rodgers. But it's not gonna happen, so it's okay.
You don't know that. You know what? I really want to start to get momentum.
It's like saying Shedeur Sanders is gonna take the starting quarterback spot with the Browns.
That's more likely than anything else. That's not impossible.
Well, yeah,
to
but
say.
then also takes his team to the Super Bowl.
What's that meme where it's like, it's not crazy to say that. It's not crazy to say that. I remember it was I don't think he's even top 5 all time. It's not crazy to say that.
Or it's like that Rick Rubin quote. I don't know. Every crazy thing that's ever been done was deemed impossible before it was done.
Very true.
So therefore, the AFC Championship this year is going to be Steelers-Browns.
I'm here for it. Let's go. We're there. That's what matters, man.
Yeah. What are the Bengals up to, man? Are they going to be good next year?
See, the expectation is yes, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm a hot take. This is a hot take Tuesday. Joe Burrow requests a trade by the end of the season.
I don't think that's too far off. Yeah,
I think he will want out, and I think Cincinnati is going to either A, fire Zach Taylor and try to get something better, or B, Joe Burrow just says, I'm not dealing with this. Because they're not... right now, Trey Hendrickson's in a contract dispute. They won't pay him. They won't pay... Their first-round pick is still in a contract dispute because of some weird, terms they put into the contract that's, the first time they're ever doing this. And he's like, well, I'm not going to do it. Why am I the first one to do it? That's weird. So he doesn't want to show up because of the phrasing of the contract. And now we're looking at this is he going to play? And this was supposed to be the guy who's supposed to replace Trey Hendrickson for the future. It's like, your defense is already so bad as it is, and now you don't have two of your best pass rushers right now at training camp getting better. So it's like, it's ridiculous. And I think if you're Joe Burrow, you're probably pissed about that, especially considering how bad your defense was last year and how much you had to carry this team to even get to 9 wins.
Yeah, that defense was so awful, and it is only getting worse, it seems. And yeah, I couldn't imagine being Joe Burrow, because watching those games as a not Bengals fan, no allegiance to the Bengals, it was frustrating enough. Like, I feel like every, like, Monday or, like, every Tuesday show we did during the football season last year, in the latter half, I said poor Joe Burrow so many times. Poor Bengals, man. Like,
poor Joe Burrow. I feel so bad
that team
for
is
100 millionaire Joe Burrow. Oh.
Well, yeah.
Let me play you a song on the tiniest violin. Let me play you a song.
He's gonna be fine. But, I can't remember if I said this or just thought it while you were saying something, but, I mean, I don't know how big of an impact firing Zach Taylor would have. I think this is a front office issue with the Bengals. Like, how are you still not figuring things out with the defense?
Well, the thing is, they had a good defense.
You got to bulk up your defense. You already have the best wide receiver and a top 3 quarterback in the league. Just solely, like, freaking scour the free agency for a defense. Yet, a good defensive coordinator. I don't know what you need to do. I don't run an NFL team. But it seems like when you have the best offense in the league, arguably, one of, and your defense is so bad that when your team is dropping like 38 points per game that you still can't make the playoffs,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
What was the other thing is, even before this year, that defense wasn't that bad. And the year before, like it was 2023, Burrow got hurt half the year, and then 2024, like they can't get an offensive line right because he hasn't been protected. He's been one of the most sacked quarterbacks since he got to the league. It's part of the reason he's been hurt. Then you have a defense that absolutely caved this year. I don't think it's all the front office. I think the front office has issues. I'm not going to sit here and act like it doesn't. It took way too long, I feel, to get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins paid when Joe Burrow wanted them to get paid. At the same time, if you're Zach Taylor, dude, what is it with starting 0-2 or 1-3 or 3-5? Those are the games that are supposed to be easy. September and October, generally speaking, like Arizona was like 6-4. They were decent through September and October. Those are the early months. The hard months come at the end of the year, and Cincinnati ripped off 5 in a row at the end of the year. If they hadn't shot themselves in the foot like week 1 against New England and came out flat, or like even started like 0-2 or 1-3 or again 3-5, like at a certain point, you need to be better in the beginning of the season, and they weren't. They were bad in the beginning of the season. They were not winning the games they were supposed to be winning, and that's the point. You're supposed to be winning those games, especially against those bad teams. And if you start, if they start the season like 1-3 again, Zach Taylor might get canned right away. It could be before October.
Yeah. Yeah, if they have another rough start, I could see that happening. But you also have to look, because, like, Zach Taylor, he's considered, the narrative on him is he's like an offensive guru, right?
I mean, yeah, he's an offensive coach. I wouldn't call him, like, he made it, so, like, when they got to that Super Bowl, and I believe it was his second year as head coach, like, that was the expectation. Like, oh, this team's going to be competing. They made the AFC Championship game the following year, and they've missed the playoffs the last 2 years. So, like, at a certain point, you're falling way short of what expectations crawled up to be. And now you're just not even in the playoffs. Like, you're getting beat out by Denver, who, I mean, I'm going to say it. I know Denver people, maybe some people had Denver as like a dark horse to make the playoffs. I didn't think there was a shot with Bo Nix, especially after what we saw the first 2 weeks of the season. Yeah. You have a top 5 quarterback, probably a top 10 player in the league, period. Maybe 2 top 10 players in the league if you include Jamar Chase, and you're not making the playoffs.
For sure. I think he's the best wide receiver in the league. He was last year.
I would still personally take Justin Jefferson, but that's just me. But it's a preference.
Yeah.
I've seen JJ perform with worse quarterback. That's the only reason. I think Chase is easy too.
Man, I miss the Sam Darnold run. He's in Seattle now, right?
Yeah, he's in Seattle. You know what's interesting? I saw a story a couple weeks ago that the Raiders were looking to maybe sign Sam Darnold, but I don't know if this was how true this is, but they didn't. Bless you. But they didn't because
Thank you.
Brady
they didn't
had,
bless me.
Yeah, they didn't bless you. No, Raiders didn't bless you. They had some. Raiders haven't blessed anybody, as far as I'm concerned. They ran into
Darren McFadden.
You gotta get. We get it, okay? Darren McFadden was a running back for the Raiders. He was mid.
He was the chosen one.
Mid. Anyway.
Wait, yeah. So the Raiders were gonna get Sam Darnold, but they ended up getting Geno.
They traded for Geno, and I think they didn't sign Sam Darnold because I don't know how true this is. It's just a report that it was due to Brady's influence. Yeah. It was Brady's influence. Brady had an influence.
Tom Brady.
He's a part owner in the Raiders.
Oh. What the heck?
Yeah. Brady doesn't approve of
Tom
Sam,
Brady
man.
was just like, yeah, I don't. Damn, he's a bigger Geno Smith guy than Sam Darnold. I don't know.
I can see
I think after last season, I know Sam folded in the playoffs, but that's I don't know. I think I would take Sam over Geno.
Well, I think the thing is with Sam versus Geno is that the Raiders don't plan to keep Geno very long. I know they gave him like an extension. I think they're more likely to be more swayed to move off Geno Smith than I would Sam Darnold. Because Sam Darnold is still even in Seattle, I think he's more of a bridge quarterback because they did draft like Jalen Milroe out of Alabama in the 3rd round. So there's a chance that they also move off him. But I think with the Raiders, it's pretty clear. It's like we just need better quarterback play than we had last year, which they do have, to evaluate the offensive talent they have even further. So like a Brock Bowers or Jacoby Myers or in this case Ashton Jeanty, who they took 6th overall. Like they're there to just evaluate what their defense is going to look like.
I'm so excited to watch Ashton Jeanty.
You have a reason to watch the Raiders. You have a reason to watch the Raiders now.
Yeah. One more random NFL question, and then I want to talk about NBA free agency. Is the Raiders' offensive line good?
I don't think so. They like a good tackle in Colton Miller, but I don't think they have much else.
Because I'm trying to think. Oh, I want to ask you about Jeff Heath too.
Oh, Jeff Heath.
But I'm curious because Jeanty was such a beast in college last year. But it's kind of like the last running back out of college. I feel like I remember seeing somebody that's remotely this good. Mm-hmm. I don't think Jeanty's as good as Derrick Henry was coming out of college because Henry was just a freak of nature. But I mean, yeah, he's the best running back prospect since Henry, I think. So I just wonder how much the quality of the offensive line would impact that.
I think it will impact it a little bit. I think their running game will just generally be better because they have a better running back and they have better quarterback play, and a better passing game improves their run game. Also Cam Thomas on Brady just said Brady just didn't want to seem racist. I see, I see it, Tom. You know what? Power to you. Get Geno in. I don't have much else to say about that. I don't know how to respond to that.
Good old Tom Brady.
I
don't know how to respond to that either.
Do you remember the commercial, the Super Bowl commercial, when it was it was Tom Brady and it was Snoop Dogg, and they were I hate you, like they were doing a message about racism. They were doing that I hate the way that you look. That's what he was saying. Maybe you know what? Maybe Brady's changed from that
awful.
ad. That ad was bizarre.
Maybe
So, and then we got Zion. You heard the Raiders' line sucks. Keep eating, yo. Keep eating, and you'll have a second career. Just don't confuse pancake blocks with breakfast. Zion, Zion would be the blocking tight end. I don't even know if he could play line. I feel like he's just not. He doesn't have the build to be on the offensive line, but he can be a tight end because he'll chip the corners. He'll get the smaller guys when he makes his.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Zion could take his talents to the NFL. When he makes it to the NFL.
Not if, when. It's a guarantee.
Exactly. The Jets need some offensive linemen, man.
Jets need a lot more than an offensive lineman. They need new management.
Zion could double as a running back, a linebacker. He could be our Travis Hunter.
And Zion's got to catch people though as a linebacker. Like, you do realize he has to run to go tackle people. I don't think he's gonna.
I think he could do that.
I don't think he could. He can. He is not a sideline to sideline linebacker. He ain't that.
Well,
one outside
he'll be like
run.
a middle linebacker.
One outside zone run.
He'll be a zone coverage guy. He'll be a blitzy guy. He'll be a blitzing linebacker. Or a run stopper.
He'll run in like slow motion, like the way giants do in like video games, like big giant creatures just running in slow mo like this.
That'd be like, dome.
They'll need a tile. What is it? Do you know how like they'll put like a carrot in front of like a treadmill to make like a bunny run or something?
Yeah.
They'll do that, but with the quarterback, they'll put like a stick on the back that's like a little chocolate bar hanging up top on the quarterback's chest plate or something. And he'll go like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get him! I'm gonna go get him!" Oh.
Yeah, that'll work. That could make Zion the best linebacker in football. But
that would make him the GOAT.
Who's Jeff Heath? I know the name.
Jeff Heath. So actually, let me a little backstory. So I was thinking about
your player of the day.
I had a couple players of the day in my back of my mind because I was watching old NFL highlights, and I went to almost fell back in my chair. I was watching through like 2015 season, and I was watching the Bucs and rookie Jameis Winston take on the Dallas Cowboys at home in Tampa, take on the Cowboys, and Jameis had a rough day. He threw a couple bad interceptions, but he threw 2 interceptions to my man Jeff Heath. And man, if the Cowboys had any offense, they would have been completely blowing out the Bucs. But they didn't do it. I always liked Jeff Heath. He was an underrated safety. He was never really a Pro Bowl guy, but he always made like some really nice plays. Like, he was a diving guy. He was like Harrison Smith. He was like a Harrison Smith light.
Ooh,
like a diet.
I'm a big Harrison Smith guy.
And I was watching.
Harrison Smith.
What other game was I watching? I was watching the 2016 playoffs. So I was watching Aaron Rodgers when he went to Dallas against rookie Dak and Zeke. And they were like up 28-13. They had just gotten to pick off Dak. Minkah Hyde had jumped the screen pass. And I was like, oh man, Green Bay's going to pull away with this game. Obviously, I know like the outcome. They weren't going to go up 3 scores there. But Aaron's trying to get a deep ball down to Devontae Adams, and Jeff Heath just comes out, zoom, and he comes out of nowhere and yoinks the football. I'm like, you know what? That was a crazy play.
Oh.
Jeff Heath, just an underrated safety. He's not even like a Hall of pretty good player. He's just a Hall of like, I remember that guy. I have a couple other players too. The Hall of Heath. I was a fan of. It was one of the few Cowboys players I liked because he wasn't like really a superstar. He was just kind of a grinder. Like, imagine Cole Beasley, but on defense. That's kind of what Jeff Heath gave me the vibes of. Like a scrappy grinder, get the job done. The coldest white boys always safeties, says Cam Tom. Cam Tom has said the coldest white boys are always safeties. That's there's a couple of them. The GOAT safeties I feel like are always African American. But there are some white safeties. Actually, wait, there was a 49ers GM. Oh, what's his name? Oh my God, John Lynch.
Bush?
Did you say Jeb Bush? No, John Lynch. John Lynch, the Bucks hard hitting safety.
No, Jed York.
Jed York, that's the owner. Not the GM and owner are 2 different things. We went over this last time. Jeb Bush. Yes, the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers, Jeb Bush.
He's done with politics. Good riddance.
Really? Because he still can't get the 49ers a Super Bowl. I feel like he's still not doing it right. Ooh.
Well, he can get them to the NFC Championship. I feel like at that point it's on the players.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's on Kyle Shanahan. I'll tell you what. That's who it's on.
That's true. It is on Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan, he's got a lot of things that wake him up at night, I bet.
We also had
Falcons blown lead.
Yeah,
what was Cam Thomas saying?
Multiple leads blown with the 49ers. Cam said, Zion, Jeff Heath is a football player, not a Heath bar. Oh my gosh. It's not him. He sees like Marcel Reese, former fullback for the Raiders. He's like, oh, Reese's Pieces. I gotta have it. I gotta get him.
Yeah, he's only He excels in tackling players whose names could be food. But if they're a regular name, he's just not that motivated.
He just tackles Ahmad Gardner because of his nickname that I won't say because he hasn't he hasn't earned
Sauce.
it yet. Yeah.
Sauce.
Oh my
He's
god.
got it, man. The PFF ranked him the number one corner in football, man.
PFF doesn't know what they're talking about. They never do. They never do.
They
man.
do.
No, they don't. You know how I know they don't? Because they never show you any of their like how they got their numbers. They just show you a number, and you're like, yeah, trust me, dude. It's true source. Check me out.
Well, yeah, because every time because they're so credible, they don't even need to show you.
They're so credible. So you think that's how a bunch of things are? Oh man, dude, they're so credible. You don't need to show your work. Don't bother showing your work. I trust you implicitly. Nah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that was a little redonk.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
But you know what safety I rock with?
Who?
Antoine Bethea.
Antoine Bethea was a very good safety. Definitely better than Jeff Heath.
Awesome.
Definitely better than Jeff Heath. A little bit more of a household name, but he was a baller. I'll give him credit.
I also enjoy Patrick Chung.
Patrick Chung? Oh, I didn't like Patrick Chung. He annoyed me.
Why didn't you like Patrick Chung?
Patriot, dude.
Was it
He's a Patriot. Get him out of here. Get Patrick Chung out of here.
He was still a dog.
He wasn't even the best safety on his own team, man. Let's be honest. You ain't the best safety on your own team 92% of the time. You kind of not like that.
Well, was Jeff Heath the best safety on his own team?
Probably, yeah. I thought he was better than Barry Church. I don't know, Devin McCourty.
I'm trying to go to Barry Church.
Barry Church. No, I mean like it's Devin. Devin McCourty was the better safety. I don't know, man. Patrick Chung was kind of mid, honestly. Kind of mid safety. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Patrick Chung. I was a fan of most of the rest of the Patriots secondary, actually. Like I was a fan of Devin McCourty. I like me some Malcolm Butler. I like me some Logan Ryan. Even Brandon Browner when he was on there. No, Brandon Browner might have been seen.
Brandon Browner.
Or no, maybe I'm thinking something else. I don't know. Whatever, man. Whatever. I just think Patrick Chung, whatever. And Cam Thomas said they picked the PFF ratings out of a hat. So, see? I can trust Cam Thomas. That's a credible source.
No.
Credible source.
Well, I mean, Sauce Gardner is a lucky guy. He is friends with Kevin Durant.
How lucky
He's dating
can you be?
Ice Spice.
How lucky can
He's
you
got
be if you're
those
on the
Buffalo
Jets?
Wild Wings endorsements.
Yeah, but how lucky can you be if you're on the Jets?
It's no surprise.
How lucky can you really be?
He's going to be the guy that brings us to the promised land. He will be the first MVP to play defense since Charles Woodson.
Nah. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way, and also...
I believe it.
Also, and you can say this if you want, I'm pretty sure Charles Woodson never won an MVP.
Okay, I might have gotten it mixed up with the Heisman Award.
Yeah, probably. But hey, I mean, technically
Travis
Hunter plays defense, so, you know. Technically, he got the most.
We'll have to see. Oh, man, I'm
What do you mean we have to see?
Wait,
what do you mean we have to see? He did. He did get the Heisman.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his success in the NFL.
No, he got the Heisman. That
Travis,
conversation's
is he gonna
done.
play? Is he gonna play both sides of the ball in the NFL?
I don't know. I would just have him play wide receiver.
Yeah, I feel like he's bound to get hurt if you haven't played both sides of the ball in the NFL.
I mean,
you think Travis Hunter should play both sides of the ball in the NFL?
No, I don't.
No.
see, yeah.
Dante says
exactly. No. I trust Dante on that. I'll tell you what though. It's because you either need to have him play wide receiver and pair him with Brian Thomas, or you have him play corner because your defense was probably one of the worst units in the league last year. But here's the thing. I think he is a better wide receiver than I think he is a cornerback. So you either improve your defense with technically not the best you can get out of him, or you go on offense and try to go with the Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas duo and just hope it saves Trevor Lawrence's career because it kind of has to.
Yeah. I think the Jags will be good next year. Just like I thought the Jags were going to be good last year.
That's
and they
every.
weren't,
That's
so
that's.
we'll see.
I say that every year about the Jags because I have so much faith and hope in young boy Trevor.
Like they have so much potential to be that like fun young team, and Trevor Lawrence barely isn't. He's barely even young anymore.
They're that young.
But they have Brian Thomas. They have Travis Hunter, Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby, what a freaking name!
Oh, Tank Bigsby's okay. He got action because Travis Etienne decided he didn't want to be a good running back anymore. That's my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. But Tank Bigsby. So your name is Tank Bigsby.
I don't think that's his actual
professional
real name.
running back. Like that is incredible.
Tank. I got a feeling that's like his. Okay, it's his nickname. It's his nickname. It's not his real name. His real name's Cartavius.
Okay, well, what's his real name? Cartavius. Well, I mean, he's done pretty well, so I guess he gets to be Tank.
I've done pretty well. Why can't my name be Tank? I've been great, dude. My name's Tank now.
Did you know my name was almost Tank? Legally?
Are you serious? Man,
I'm not messing with you.
You're capping, bro. There's
an ancestral name. There's an ancestral name in my family called Tancred. I'm pretty sure it's like Tancred. And I was almost gonna be named Tancred and Tank for short.
Yeah, sure, dude. Sure, man. Sure, dude. I'm sure that
you can actually Google this. That's like a Smith family name, I'm pretty sure. And Phil thinks I'm lying because I told him about a totally real streaming service called Splooby. And you need to use your health insurance card to log in, and it's a database of every NBA and NFL and some collegiate games and basketball and football dating back to the 60s.
It's not a thing. What you were describing is a complete lie. Splooby? Why are you describing it more when you have already emphasized that it's not real?
It is real.
It's not real.
Look, man, next time we hang out, we'll watch some Splooby together.
That's not a real thing. No streaming site would require any of that information. Hold on, I got Cam Thomas is blowing up the chat right now. Trevor Lawrence, ain't he that QB who looked like a chick from the 70s? Yeah, he still is. I still can't get over they did that one TikTok. Like I think Trevor lost all ability to play quarterback when he did that TikTok with his girlfriend and they like swapped he was like a cheerleader outfit, she was in the football outfit. I'm like, I really can't tell them apart. That's crazy.
I don't think I saw that.
I saw it was basically every NFL meme that came up about Trevor Lawrence playing poorly. It's like this is the Trevor Lawrence today, and it was just that him doing like a TikTok trend or something. Cam also said that when he decides to end his NBA career, he's gonna go into adult content as Tank Bigsby.
That's really good. That's really good. Oh my gosh, that's very clever.
I don't know. Now it's out there. Someone might grab it before you, Cam. Especially if you're playing for as long as I think you're gonna play in the NBA. You're gonna have to be like 2.0.
Imagine like him and Tank Bigsby retire at the same time, but Trevor Lawrence goes into porn, and they both want to go into porn, but Trevor Lawrence goes into porn before Tank Bigsby, and Tank Bigsby is pissed that Trevor Lawrence took his name.
That's crazy. He can just join and then be the Bigsby brothers.
Oh my god, that would be crazy. Hella football references. I feel like all of the videos they do would definitely have to have an arc in them.
Every time it's a special
they're
guest.
Best buds.
Yeah, it's just a story of like
it's
the
kind
Jaguars.
of like a sitcom. But it always just devolves into porn. And then at the end they high five each other.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Like shout out to my brother from another mother.
The ending is just a freeze frame high five with like credits roll on over it. Just
Ocean man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land.
It just starts playing. Do you remember the 21st night of September?
It's got some really like 70s looking credits rolling downward. Oh, that would be great.
Even better, it ends like a Michael Bay movie where it's like, in the what I've done, I face myself.
Yeah, that's after like a really like, you know, not your proudest nut video.
It's the end of like the Transformer movies. It's like, know this, Optimus Prime.
Man, we've got to call Trevor Lawrence. You might let us represent him.
Trevor, we've got a crazy opportunity for you in a new dynamic area.
Yeah, we've got an idea on how you can broaden your horizons after football.
Yeah, you'll have a great opportunity. And then the name Tank. Oh, Cam got.
I keep needing. Every time I put my face really close to the screen, I'm trying to read the chat, and I still can't read it.
It's like, oh, what does that say? Yeah, the name Tancred is of Germanic origin, It's like Germany, meaning thoughtful counsel or well-considered counsel/advice. Okay, then maybe it's a good thing they didn't call you Tank. You know, maybe at the end of the day. Come on!
Well, yeah, I definitely like Taff more than Tank. I feel like Tank would make me like, I don't know. I think there could be there could be a lot of body dysmorphia. I feel like if my name was Tank, I would feel a need to go to the gym every day. Look at me, man. I'm skinny.
Maybe we'll start calling you Tank, so you can get that gym momotivation.
You know, like, I wouldn't want to be a muscle hamster, you know? I just want to be, like, toned. Prime time with Tank and Phil. That's got hell of a ring to it. Prime time with Taff and Phil does, too, but oh my gosh.
I like how the expectation, too, of, like, Tank, though, is, like, expecting some sort of, like, big bodybuilder type of person, and then it's just Taff.
It's 5'5" me. Like, that'd actually be kind of sick.
It'd be like, oh my gosh. That'd be, you know what? Maybe I'll get you a shirt that just has a tank on it. It's like, why is there a tank on your shirt? It's like it's my name.
Yeah.
My dad.
A couple of my friends at Bonnaroo, we walked around with fake names. Your dad what?
No, I was gonna say my dad tells a story about what my name would have actually been like if I was a girl, and my mom told me that the name would have been Olivia, but my dad always tells me the story that it's like, you know, Phil, if you were going to be a girl, we were going to call you Anastasia. And this was right around the time that 50 Shades of Grey had come out. So he was doing it just to troll me. I was like, dude, come on. There's no way you guys are going to call me Anastasia. There's no way. If my name was Anastasia, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to spell it half the time. Like, I feel like I would get it wrong.
You could just go by Annie.
Yeah, but like, I'm someone who commits, you know? I feel like if I were, I would committed to the name Anastasia and just been like, say my
like
full
name though.
Yeah. That's why I felt like he was trolling, because I was like, I mean, sorry if your name is Anastasia. Sorry if your name is Anastasia, but it does kind of sound like that. Sorry if your name is Anastasia, but there are just some names that give off that vibe. Guy names like this exist too. Like, there are, like, names for a guy where it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Like Tanner.
Yes. Tanner.
Sorry, Tanner is of the world.
I'm sorry, but Tanner does.
Sure you get it.
Or, like, Topher.
Like, Tanners give the vibe that they were born with a backwards hat on.
Do you know what else? I don't like the name Topher.
Topher? I don't think I've ever met a Topher.
Well, because Topher's like the ending of Christopher. But nobody goes by the second half because it's the worst part of the name. Like, you're either Christopher or you're Chris.
Yeah.
But, like, you're not Topher.
I don't think I've met any Christophers. All of the Christophers I know are Chris.
Yeah, but, like, their full name is, you know, Christopher. Like, usually sometimes the name is Christopher, they go by Chris. But if you go by Topher, oh, nuh-uh.
Yeah,
no
that's evil.
And I'm sorry, Tophers of the world, but you should just be Chris. Stick with Chris, man, or Christopher if you want to keep the Topher.
That's a fact. Oh, one thing I need to say: the Knicks signed the spicy sweet chili Dorito of NBA players, Jordan Clarkson. If you understand that reference, you are a real one.
I get that reference, and I think
Jordan
you're
Clarkson,
wrong. I get that reference, and I think you're incorrect.
Well, yeah, I actually think that the spicy sweet chili Dorito is the best Dorito now, and because I was sleeping on the spicy sweet chili Dorito, right? Mm-hmm. And I kind of had a similar experience with Jordan Clarkson. Like, I remember a couple years ago, maybe he's not as good now because people get older and stuff.
Right.
The Jazz were in the playoffs, and Jordan Clarkson was on the team. This guy was coming into the game. His bag is deep, man. Like, you can't see it, but I was just dribbling a basketball under my legs doing a Jordan Clarkson impersonation.
Oh wow.
But yeah, he was hitting everything, and I am excited for Jordan Clarkson to be a New York Knick because he's just very fun to watch. I think we also should bring in Chris Paul. Because campaign is no fun.
Well, I don't know if you're going to hit Chris Paul. We
probably don't have the money.
How about this? Here's an idea. Get a head coach. Work on that.
We're working on it.
When's that going to happen? It's been over a month.
I don't know. I heard Dawn Staley is not available for the job.
Who else? Does anyone even want the Knicks job at this point? Because it feels like nobody wants it. Someone would have been hired already.
There just aren't a lot of unemployed good coaches right now. And a lot of them feel like they have unfinished business with their current team. I'm hoping it's Johnny O'Brien. Johnny O'Brien still hasn't been ruled out.
Dude, you should have never fired Thibs. I've changed my opinion. After a month of not getting head coach, you should have never fired Thibs. Because I guarantee you the coach that you bring in is not going to be better.
It's been about 7 years and Leon still hasn't steered us wrong, so I'm going to believe in him until I have reason not to.
You know what? You know what it is? This is a metaphor. I think I even mentioned this the last time we talked about this. Like in chess, it's not the first mistake that kills you, it's the next one. The first mistake, firing Thibs. The next mistake is going to be whoever gets brought in.
It's like the Miles Davis quote. Yeah, is that what you just said?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't get it from Miles Davis, but if he said it, then sure.
Oh, okay.
It's like you make one mistake.
Yeah, because like playing the wrong note. One note on its own doesn't make it the wrong note. It's the next note that you play that determines. Yeah, but see, I did it the other way. It's not really a Miles Davis thing. Like, this is different because I believe already you've made a mistake in firing Thibs. Now, if you make we have to play the next note. We haven't played the next note yet.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any that was only a good note. Like, this is, imagine you play a note and then like you play the wrong note, and instead of playing a better note to try to make up for the fact that you played the wrong note, you just sit there in silence like this on your saxophone.
Yeah, they think like the crowd is clapping. They're like, yeah!
The crowd's not clapping! Song. You indicated to the crowd that you played the wrong note! Like,
no.
Yes!
They think it's the end of the song, and he's getting ready for the next one.
Huh?
Yeah.
Hell no.
It's the end of that. That's the end of the Tibbs song.
No. They shouldn't.
Only time will tell, but the Knicks really do need a head coach. It's becoming concerning for me, but I still believe in Leon.
You know why? Because I don't understand. Like, the idea of getting another head coach, who are you going to get that's even going to be better than Thibs at this point? Like, if you guys regress next season, which is like, I'm not saying...
We look like a bunch of dummies.
You look like a bunch of dummies now. You're going to look even worse. You're going to look crazy if you guys don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again.
Yeah. We will, though. We're the favorites to win the East.
Yeah, but like, who was the favorites to win the East this year? Well, not Indiana.
The Celtics.
Not Indiana. Not New York.
It was probably the Celtics.
Just,
Well, yeah, and I don't know.
Still
The
on
Knicks just
offseason.
proved how good they are.
Did they?
I mean, when you look at the East for next year, unfortunately, like, I wish these players weren't injured, but there's no Tatum, there's no Halliburton,
Yeah.
there's no.
But there's
Did
no
Dame tear his Achilles too?
Yeah, but I mean, Dame's old. I don't think
Yeah.
Dame's the same guy anymore. I mean, it sucks that he tears
Yeah.
Achilles, but he's not the same player as Tatum or Halliburton. I think
Yeah.
the thing is, though, you have to understand something, because the East is, I'm saying this, the East is so bad. This is my take. This is an interesting take. The East is so bad that at a certain point, like, do you really think Boston and Indiana miss the playoffs?
I don't think they missed the playoffs, but they're surely easier to beat when they don't have Halliburton or
Right,
Tatum.
but in a year from now, like especially, and this is the thing with Achilles surgeries too, and like any of these kind of injuries, we've gotten to a point in modern medicine where those aren't necessarily career-ending or career-defining. If there's even a chance that in like a year, like let's say 10 months from now, that either of those guys actually back healthy and able to play on a court and not rushed back, like, and they're out on the court in the playoffs, does it really matter at that point? Because I could still see a situation.
I think so.
where- I could still see.
They'll be dusting off cobwebs still.
Yeah, but
Let's say that they're healthy with like 12 games left in the season. You know, their teams are, you know, they've
But
played
they're
70
still
games.
incredible players.
They're 40-30 or
Okay.
something, or a little worse.
They're still going to
I
make
don't
the
know,
playoffs even at 40 and
36
30.
and 34.
They're gonna if they get 40.
Well, yeah,
if you
'cause the
get
East is
40
really
wins in
bad.
the East, you make the playoffs. Easy. East is
Yeah,
terrible.
The East is really bad right now.
So it's like
Hell no to the no.
I just don't see.
no.
I could see, and plus, it's not like Boston, Indiana have bad rosters. I mean, they could still compete with the rosters that they have, despite the fact that they'd be down a superstar. Like, that's how well-rounded that team is. And even then, like, and the understanding about cobwebs, that obviously you need to get back up to game speed, but it's not like they're not in the gym like a couple months before they come back, still getting up shots. You know what I mean? Like, there's still, I think there is, to say that New York is the favorite is logical, but I don't think that just guarantees it off. I don't think it nearly is as much of the favorite as people would be making it out to be. And Cleveland's still there. And Cleveland's still there.
I don't think
Cleveland will
people.
be fully healthy.
Cleveland is still there. Cleveland is still there. I don't think people are acting like the Knicks are some lock or a huge favorite. But
New York
according to
is.
Vegas,
New
we
York
are the
is.
favorite.
New York is. New York will always act like that. New York always think they get one
No, it's
nice.
Vegas.
It's not just Vegas. Do you know, like, anytime anything slightly good happens to New York Knicks, they're not logical in any way. They react with raw emotion because that's all they know. That's all New Yorkers know. Coming from a New Yorker, that is all New Yorkers know.
Okay.
They do. The game after they won in Indiana, like, you could just see a wave of Knicks fans thinking they were going to win 3 more games in a row after winning that game. They were just going, the Knicks hit 6, suck my dick.
Well, yeah.
Knicks hit 6. So, like, bro, come on.
Well, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's wrong. Don't tell you.
It's not wrong.
It's incorrect.
They're saying Knicks in 6 when they were up 1-0.
They weren't up 1-0.
That implied that
they were
thought they
down. They were down 1.
Oh yeah.
They were down 2-1, expecting to win the next 3
that's awesome.
straight after they won Indiana.
That's awesome.
Hell no! They had no business winning that game to begin with, and then Indiana went out and cooked them in Game 4.
Whatever. We'll have to see what happens.
Schmever.
Last topic of the show, I think. Miles Turner signed with the Bucks. Dame got waived from the Bucks.
Yes.
What's the Miles Turner contract?
I think it was 4 years, 105. I want to say 105 mil.
4 years, 105. That's surprising that he just left the Pacers after the run they had.
I don't think Yeah, it was 4 years, 107. 4 years, 107 mil. I kind of get it because
I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, in a league that really doesn't promote loyalty, it doesn't make sense to say. Because my guess the reason is he left is that they weren't going to pay him 4 years, 107 mil, and Milwaukee was. I think they were going to expect him to take a hometown discount, and he didn't. That's my guess. I just don't think there is. The NBA does not preach loyalty, like at all. What are you doing?
It does not. No.
It doesn't preach loyalty.
There are some cursed sounds happening on my street. I don't know what they are. It sounds like it's almost music, but it's not.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of scary.
Just someone like barges in with a second. It's like a giant mariachi
It's like,
band.
Like that's the sound that was just playing outside of my house, and it was like rainy. It's like not all the way dark yet. But it's really wet and humid outside, and it's dusk. Spooky vibes.
It doesn't. To me, the thing is with the NBA is that if you're not going to promote loyalty, you can't expect players to take hometown discounts, and I don't think Miles is going to do that. Especially because when you think about Indiana, even despite this, still went on an insane miracle run. The expectation is that they're going to do it again next year. I highly doubt it. It'd be almost impossible, especially without Halliburton. And even with Halliburton, I'd still have question marks about them being able to run it back. Because I think when you think about the way each of the series went and what Tyrese Halliburton had to do to win the series at all, like in huge moments, that's never happening again. That's just not. There's never going to be a run like that again. Like what happened was absolutely, assuming, and obviously if Halliburton is healthy in that last game, they could have easily won the finals. But I don't think it's a guarantee that he would have stayed even then. I think there would have been an expectation for him to take a hometown discount. He didn't want to. And I mean, this is a guy also for 10 years that's been constantly been on the trade block. For like more than half of his NBA career, he's been on the trade block.
True.
So it's like...
But for it to finally happen right after they make... And they didn't even trade him. Right after they make the finals, they were one win away from the finals. And they could have very well won that game if Halliburton doesn't go down with a torn Achilles. Yeah. I'm just surprised that Turner didn't want to run it back. I would have wanted to
You
run
weren't
it back.
going to... You think Indy would have been able to run it back this year, like, logistically? Because I don't see any way they run it back this year, especially with the Halliburton injury, and I don't think they'd be able to do it even if he was healthy.
I think they could if he was healthy.
If he was healthy and Miles Turner is still there and they come back, especially because it's not like the East just sits around and doesn't get any better. And there's not a lot of people you can... Yeah, I mean, a lot of the East is hurt, but right now Halliburton is. And the reality is, in the situation that we're talking about, Miles Turner made the decision based on what the... I have to assume the Pacers offered him some form of contract. Milwaukee offered him another. Then he's like, well, you know what? Halliburton's not going to be healthy. Does it really make sense for me to stay? Especially for a team that, again, probably has tried to
sign a 2-year deal with Indy, or a 2-year, or a 1-year deal with the Bucks, then go back to Indy. Just kidding. That would never happen.
Why would you want to go into Milwaukee for 1 year to do nothing? Like, I think he just wants to go there and get paid.
Because maybe they pay you more than the Pacers. Well, and Halliburton's going to be hurt next year, so it'd kind of be like a loan deal in soccer.
Yeah, but that's like that conceptually is even worse than what ended up happening. I feel like that in of itself is whack. Like, really? Like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go over to this team for a deal, but don't worry, I'll be back next year when everyone's healthy. You know, like...
Oh, yeah, that would be whack, and that just doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Like, imagine, like, you go to a friend's party, and then it's, like, kind of mid. It'll be like, oh, you know, this party kind of sucks. I'm going to go somewhere else. But, you know, I'll be back next week if the party's better, you know, like...
Yeah, that's rude.
Whack behavior.
Indeed, that's the type of stuff that makes me never want to speak to somebody again. Because it makes me think, oh, so the party is more important than our individual presences?
Yeah.
Well, the party just became more important than your individual presence, rude person. Well, that's what I say.
Would you?
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Okay, I really hope you wouldn't say that. No more Mr.
I would say all of it.
You would say no more Mr. Nice Guy in any context.
And then
in any context
if
that
he
is
came
not
back to the party
trying to
next
be
week,
ironic.
if he came back to the party next week and the party was good, I would say, "Oh, look what the cat dragged in."
Jeez, man. Oh, like, well, what? Would you tell him, "Oh, you're skating on thin ice, buddy"?
Oh, well, he's already fallen through the thin ice. He's fighting for his life.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Cold water, you could say he might be in cold water physically, but he's in hot water with me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll simulate this.
No longer treading on thin ice.
I'll get an actor. I'll get an actor out in Philly to befriend you, and then run this simulation and see if you do it or not. We'll see if it'll happen.
Okay, yeah.
We'll see if I can. I have some contacts I can get to.
That sounds good to me.
All right.
Yo, Cam Thomas, would you come to our party? Come to a Philadelphia party.
Cam Thomas, would you come to our party, please? I thought it was about the people who showed up. I thought, oh, you want the. Oh, I guess it's true. You want the individual presence of Cam Thomas. Not
exactly.
A party
That's what makes the party instead of because people that just want a good party, they're about the scene but not the connection. And parties are about connection, so there's really a disconnection.
I feel like parties are in some aspect do have to do with the scene, because then it's not a party. Then you're just hanging out with people.
Yeah, but I think that's a party. All right, what's the borderline between something being a party and not being a party? I think it's double-digit people. I think that might be maybe. It also depends on the vibes. It depends on
the vibes, and I think it depends on the venue. I think it depends on how many people are there versus how big is the area that you're in. I think that matters. Because I feel like a party is probably at minimum 15 people. On average.
At minimum 15.
Yeah.
Well, there are different kinds of parties, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's still 15 though. Even a simple birthday party, you probably got 15 classmates. When you were it basically is how many people.
Yeah, when you were a kid.
Yeah, but even then, that counted, and that's the benchmark. That's your benchmark for a little birthday party. That's the benchmark.
No,
you gotta hit those.
No, because human connection. We definitely we don't want I enjoy hosting parties, but
no, I'm saying that's the benchmark for number of people.
15 or more people in my house.
Yeah, but that's the benchmark for what I would call a party.
I kind of like having anywhere from 8 to 15 people that I really like over. Like during the Knicks series, we were doing that. Oh my god, it was so fun.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call
that
a party. I don't know. I wouldn't call that your traditional party though. That's something else.
Yeah,
it's a different thing.
Well, I guess yeah, for a college party, if it's the fucking pardon my French.
Whoa! Come on, watch.
Yeah, no, family show.
Oh my gosh, man, that's strike one.
Freaking
strike one.
Ugh, man, my neck looks really skinny. Do you see this?
Giraffe. Taff.
I guess the elongated it.
Dude, it's a giraffe. That's a giraffe. I'm crazy with
freaking rager with giraffe.
Dude, come party with giraffe.
Oh, look and you can come see what the cat dragged in.
Okay, enough. Stop it with the.
If you're rude, no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Stop it with the old white man cliches, man.
Throwing parties is my bread and butter.
Okay, enough. You're done. Strike two. Strikes 2 through 5. That was not.
I think that might be that's strike 4.
I think that's an end of the stream. I'm done. I want to end the stream after that. That's crazy. That's the end of the episode. You just killed it. It's over. You had the way to end it, and you ended it like that. Unbelievable.
Amazing. I'm very glad. I feel like this was one of the best episodes yet.
I agree, but that was one of the worst endings we've ever had. I can't believe you just ended that way with the white man Urban Dictionary right there. Just busted out every single one.
Look, man, sometimes people you gotta show the people that you're literate.
I don't even know. I don't know what to say after that. I got nothing.
I'm hip and cool.
Stop. Okay. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for watching episode 30, technically 36, but labeled as 34. It's been a pleasure. And we all hope you enjoy the rest of your week. We got a new little clip to see you guys coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna upload it tomorrow so you guys can check it out and give us some feedback on what you think of the layout of the little clip that I've got set up. So we'll be making
Philip White's gaining a lot of editing prowess. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm just him. Dude, that is a god.
God shit, fellas.
I agree, yeah, that is a god level. Oh, well, thanks for Cam, Thomas, and Jay for pulling out. And, maybe next week, maybe the Knicks will have a head coach. But it'll be really funny if they don't, so I can mention it again.
Yeah, and next time, if you don't pull out, there might be a baby. So.
And with that, stay classy, Primetime.